Okay, looks like we are live. Whew, good one. Yeah, solar flares. We'll chalk it up to that. Hello, hello, everybody. Good to see you guys. All right, let's see if I missed anything in that brief period of time. Fingers crossed. Thanks, Jess. It worked. Absolutely worked. Okay. We're looking good. All right, let me just go back and make sure I say hello to everybody. Oh, Miss Nunya, it's good to see you. It's good to see you. Shari, nice to have you here. Kimmy, I think I read somewhere in here that you're moving. So hopefully that went okay for you. And Kimmy, Kimberly. We have a Kimberly and Sharon. Good to see you also. Let's see who else we got. And you guys know, for all of you who might be watching this on the replay, we always give it a minute or two. So feel free to scroll right ahead. You're not going to hurt my feelings. I won't even know. Caroline, good to have you here. Keep on going down. Jess, thank you so much for all the crossed fingers because it worked. Mimi, welcome to the club. It is nice to see you here. Nice to have you here on a live stream. And Kathy, hello, hello. And let's see who else I got. I think that's everybody so far. Jody. Hey, how you doing, Jody? Good to see you. Okay, so thank you for welcoming each other. Thank you for welcoming some new folks. Oh, yeah, we have Chloe here doing a reading for Lily. It's going to be interesting tonight. I am going to share with you guys some of the things that I get vulnerable about, as hopefully a way to help you be able to do this, because I know that you can. So I was doing a little research for someone today who is looking to have a reading for a family member who's human, not furry. And I have only done that a couple of times. And I have done it a couple of times and it's been fine. But it's not, I love working with animals. And so I primarily focus on animals. But as I'm doing my research, because this person is asking me for some referrals, asking me some very specific information. As I'm doing my research, I am looking at a couple different mediums, and I'm telling you, the fees that they're charging. So for me, this is just a beautiful vocation, and I'm fortunate enough that I can do this, and yeah, it's a fun little business for me, if you want to use the word business. But I'm not going to be a millionaire. So get to the point. Get to the point, Elaine. The point is that some of these mediums I was looking up charge anywhere between $450 was the least expensive to $1,000 per session. And one of the mediums that I was researching said that it was like the rate was like around $500 for a 1 hour session. And if you wanted to be on the waiting list, and if you wanted to get bumped to the front of the line, it was $900. And perhaps I'm doing something wrong. I know, right, Kimmy? So I think there are people who are in it for the money, and I don't want to judge. I honestly don't want to judge. And maybe she's got a connection that I don't even understand, that this person can give you a direct connect right to the other side. I don't know. But anyhow, the point of that was that I think we all have this ability, and there's no reason why you can't be making these kinds of connections for yourself with your own animal companion. And we're going to talk about fears and doubts and why it's sometimes harder to do with your own animal companion. And if you have a partner or friend or family member who's willing to do this with you, sometimes it's a little bit easier to work that way. But I think we can all receive these messages. It's just that we are socially and culturally conditioned that we can't. And if you're anything like me, and some of you know when we did our live Zoom, which we'll do another one, it's going to be on the weekend. It's going to be, I think it might even be on a Friday for our UK people. But remind me where I was going before my little squirrels all went crazy inside my head. You can do this for yourself. It's gone, totally gone. Let me look at the comments and see if I can. I know a woman in Denver that is awesome. Oh, good. Oh, Kimmy, I love to get referrals. I love for you guys to give me referrals because I definitely put that out there. Seen signs, but like most people, question if it's real. That's where I was going. That we are culturally and socially conditioned to think that we cannot. And if you're anything like me, when I was a little girl, it was squashed. Anything to do with imaginary friends, anything to do with talking to animals. It's not done. We don't do it. And in my religious upbringing, it was even more frowned upon. And I know there are a couple of you here who are watching this evening who have had equally strict religious upbringings, and it's just not done. But I know that we can. We are all beautiful, wonderful, divine sparks of God, all connected to the universal mind. That's kind of my term for it now. The universal mind, the one mind, we are connected to it. And there are ways that we can tap into that connection and remember it and reawaken it. And I think we have a whole new generation of little ones, including my little granddaughter, who are not going to forget, who are going to remember. And this is going to be even easier for them to do. Okay, I'm going to take a quick look. Been doing automatic writing, and it's working. Fantastic. Sherry, I know that it can work for everyone, and I'm going to give a lesson tonight. I have all the steps written out the way that I think that I do them, even though these days it's more of an automatic process for me. It just begins to happen, like with Lily. Lily, when Lily first came, when I first looked at Lily's picture a little bit earlier today, Lily came to me immediately as a teacher, that she was ready to teach us this evening and to give me the courage to do it actually live. But as soon as I looked at her picture, the information starts to flow. It's almost as if that connection to the universal mind opens up, and I began to write, and then I just stopped. And I was like, we want to do this together, Lily. We want to do it together. So we're going to see how that works out for us. And I will explain a little bit more about doubts and fears and the role that they play and how we can kick them to the curb. Okay. Pad and a pen next to your bed. Yay. Oh, but you forget. That's okay. Don't worry about it. Don't. It's all good. It is all good. You're not going to miss anything. Our animals are endlessly patient. But I do have my favorite pen, a plain old Bic pen, and my special magical journal that my one subject, a 70 wide rule. Wide rule because I scribble. I have to be able to read my own writing. So you don't need a special pen. I like to write with this special pen. If you like to write in pencil, if you like to type on your computer, if you'd rather use the notes on your phone, all of that is good to receive the messages, and we'll talk about that in a second. All right, where is my little prompt here? Okay, so I wanted to show you guys. I'm wearing one of the shirts. I wanted to show this to you so that you can see what it looks like. This one is a large, so just to give you a sense, if anybody was thinking about ordering the shirts, they seem to be true to size. I usually wear a medium. I like things that are not tight fitting, but I don't like necessarily loose either. And this one's a little bit loose on me. I ordered a large because I thought that when you order things like that, like the clothes seem to run small. That's what I always thought, the clothes seem to run small. So if you're thinking about ordering any of the clothing, the sizes are pretty much true to size. This is a large, and just without being too personal, I weigh 145 pounds and I'm 5'8". So if that gives you any guideline, I generally wear a medium. So this large is a little bit baggy on me, if that gives you an idea. And then I also ordered myself one of these. Yes, I order my own stuff. This is and I specifically did this design for this shirt. I wanted something for the summer that was really pretty. So this is the flowy racerback shirt. I can't remember if that's the exact, I think it's called flowy something or other. But I like the design on this one. I also ordered a large because when in the summertime, when you're wearing a pair of shorts, you're wearing a pair of tights or whatever, I just wanted to be a little bit flowier. So this also seems to be true to size though. And this is a large. Okay, so I just wanted to show you guys that. And now I can't wait. I've been waiting. I ordered it a little bit later, but I wanted the over-the-shoulder, not a fanny pack, but tote bag. It's a bag, whatever, that goes over your shoulder. So as soon as I get that, I'll show it to you guys also. Okay, so let's see what we want to talk about tonight. A couple of different things. Oh, I did want to tell you that I've had a couple of private readings now, and I keep shying away from posting it publicly on the YouTube community, but I guess I'm going to do it because I get more and more requests for like full private readings where we get onto a Zoom call one-to-one. We share information. You ask questions. It goes about 30 to 45 minutes is about the length of it. But the reason I bring it up is because one of the folks who I just did a reading for, who, by the way, their beautiful animal companion was just so open, and everything just came pouring through. Everything. And even after the message that came through, that 90% of what I had said made total sense to the family. A couple days later, they were still like, but how do we really know that it's our animal companion? So we're going to cover that, how you can really know, and how you can really trust. When I sent out the little, I don't like to call them newsletters, but when I sent out the little word from the animals, like the animals are the ones who inspire me with all this, it came up about the doubt. The doubt was the big word that came up. I included a little bit about fear, but it's more about doubt, that we really question whether or not this is real or it's make-believe, or what we're receiving is real. How do we know that it's real? So we're going to talk about that tonight, about doubt. But he suggested that maybe we do a pet parent class, like a class for pet parents. How do you start to do this to receive your own messages? So I'll think about that. It won't be until after June, because I'm still doing full-time nannying for my granddaughter until June. And then we have the end of life class going on right now. But that may be, if you guys want to let me know that you're interested, I always put it out to the members first and then to the rest of the community. I will actually give that some thought. If we want to do like, I don't know, Reiki and communication, mediumship, haven't even thought about what it would look like yet, but for anybody who wants to take that. Yeah, that's it. The crossbody bag. Okay. And hello, Hideous Sales. I wish I could remember what your name is. Because calling you Hideous Sales sounds pretty funny, but, okay. The other one I wanted to bring up about a reading was also someone who sent me a message, about, part of the reading. And this is going to come up as we talk about automatic writing, because some of the thoughts that you receive may not make immediate sense, but they make sense down the line. So one of the things that came up in a different reading was that this was for a dog, and that the dog gave me a sense that he was coming back, but perhaps not as an actual dog. So to be open to the possibility that it's going to be a bird or a cat. That's specifically what came through, a bird or a cat. And then just today, I got a little note from the person who I did the reading for, and she said, "You're not going to believe this." But everybody says that, by the way. Everybody says, "You're not going to believe this." And although I'm still amazed and my mind is still blown, I believe it. I always believe it. She said that a sparrow flew into the house and stayed. Like a sparrow flew into the house and just hung out for a couple of hours, on the curtains. And then after spending the afternoon, flew away. So there was Bird. And she said, then the very next day, a kitten ran into the house. They have no idea where it came from. Kitten in the house, hung out. And then the kitten was, I think it was a neighbor's cat. Can't remember. She gave me the details, but kitten was gone too. So they find ways. I was thinking something more permanent. Clearly this dog had a different idea, but these things everything we receive will come back to us at some point. We'll either remember it, we'll think about it later, we'll go, and the little light bulb will go off, or something will happen that will bring it forward to our attention. I am going to just take a quick look at comments again, and then we're going to go ahead and get started. So with the process for automatic writing and why I use automatic writing. And okay, so I'm just going to let you guys go with that. Hi, Terry. Oh, hello. No worries. Out of town on adventures. Oh, lovely. Absolutely take your animals on adventures. I think it was Hideous Sales who suggested that it was about plants. And I can't remember specifically what you said about the plant, but it reminded me that I named all of my plants. Oh, about petting plants. Like, can a plant actually take on the, I believe plants have souls, but that's a topic for another day. Anyhow, I have plants around my house. As you guys know, one of them actually tipped over during a reading, Seafer. So I named that plant Seafer after I repotted it. And then I decided, oh my gosh, I should just name the rest of my plants after my animal companions who've crossed to the other side. So Lucy, this is Lucy right here. So every morning when I get up, I say good morning to Jack and Lucy. Jack's across the room. Every morning I wake up and I say good morning to Jack and Lucy and to Seafer. And I have a little cactus, but I haven't decided if a cactus is right for Winston yet. But when I get more plants, they will all be named after pets. Because what a great way just to refresh your memory. Every single day I wake up, I see Lucy, and I say good morning to Lucy. Scout said she's coming back. That's funny, so it'll be a while. Okay, that's good. I love it, Jody. I love it. Coming back when I get my act together. For some of us, yeah, I'm right with you. It could be a while. So let's talk about automatic writing and why I picked that as the topic. And then it's going to be next week. Um, one of the group members had requested that we do the signs from nature, and I've talked about it for a couple weeks in a row, but I finally got an idea of how to put that into a topic, like how do we see signs in nature, and it's going to be called spirit signs, because there are so much now that has come up, and then I just wait for the animals to inspire me. So next week's topic is going to be about spirit signs, and yeah, there's some good stuff. Okay, so tonight we're going to be talking about automatic writing. Automatic writing, as I've mentioned to you guys before, is the process that I use in order to make connections with animals on the other side. And I know that it can work for people too. I have been hesitant, as I mentioned, to do it for people. Um, and that's just my own it's my own hesitation. There's no reason why this could not, every animal who's crossed to the other side, and I don't care how far down the rabbit hole you want to go, that includes dinosaurs in the past, it includes future animal companions who you've yet to meet. We can connect with everyone. We are all souls. We are all part of the greater universal mind. And I think I've used the analogy before, and I can't remember who I learned it from, but it was not mine. The analogy of the octopus, and that we have the universal mind, and we are all just these wonderful little amazing tentacles, and we camouflage and we do all these things that we don't remember that we're part of this universal mind. But all we have to do is remember and think about that connection, and that the beautiful energy centers that run through our body are directly connected to that universal mind. And how do we get that information out? What I do is automatic writing. So it involves a pen, it involves a piece of paper, and it can be your computer, it can be your cell phone, it can be anything you want. You can write in pencil, you can write in crayon, you can draw pictures if that's what you want it to be. It can be anything. It's just simply translating the information into a form that we can understand and it's meaningful to us, that we can not only receive messages, get validation that our animal companion is still with us, even though they're not in a physical body. We can get answers to problems. We can, if there's changes that are about to happen, if we have to make a decision, we can have access to all of that, because now our animal companions, they're not just at the Rainbow Bridge. They are part of this beautiful, energetic, soup is not the right word, part of this beautiful, energetic mist substance that floats all around us, that is everywhere. It's in between all the space. They are part of, directly connected to the universal mind, and can give us the information that we don't access on our own, because we don't trust ourselves. We don't trust our intuition. How many times have you guys had an intuitive insight that said, don't do this or go this way, but you decide to go that way? We know that we have intuition, and we know that we have this information. Everything we receive is information that is already deep within us. It's just a way for us to access it. And our animal companions are right here, ready to be at our side, to be that access point for us. But automatic writing is the way that I do it. I'm going to give you the steps that I follow. And not everybody needs to do automatic writing. And I am sure that I could set down my pen and my paper and allow the information to flow and just speak it. But it seems to flow easier when I use those words, whether it's our voice or the written word. I prefer to write things down, and so I write them down. And anybody who wants to try that, like Sherry was saying, it works for her. It only takes a little bit of practice, and it only takes once or twice to get validation. And then when you can start to really believe it, it really, really, it happens. And you do it every day. You'll do it every day. And the next thing you know, you'll be walking down the street, or you'll be somewhere and you'll have to think of something or do something or remember something, and you'll simply ask your animal companion for the guidance, and you'll receive the information, and you won't need to pull out your phone or write it down on a piece of paper. It'll become a natural thing. So how does it work? I don't know how it works. I can't tell you like the mechanics of quantum physics, because I'm not a quantum physicist. I have a general understanding of how this universal field exists and that the universe goes on and on forever. And unlike we used to think that the universe was finite in size and that at some point there would be an end of it and then it would all just fall apart, but it just keeps growing. It grows and grows and grows. And that's a scientific thing. So if you want to go research that, look up quantum physics and quantum physicists. And there are practical quantum physicists and there are theoretical quantum physicists who try to really project what it's going to be like for the future. So the reason I share all that is because I don't know the how. I don't need to know the how. I just need to know that it works and that I have a direct connection that I trust, as do you, that I trust and believe in it, that I have set aside my doubts. Every once in a while, I still get that little sneaky thing. I'm human. I still get that little sneaky monkey mind thing going on, that little chatter that says, "Is it real?" And then I get a complete validation that it's so real. And for example, the gentleman this week who sent me an email every single day following the reading. And if you're watching this on the replay, which I know that you may, just such a beautiful experience. And I hope you continue to send me emails every time that your beautiful animal companion connects with you. I love them. I love them. And I love to hear all the beautiful things that our animals have to say. So we are meant to do this. This is perfectly natural. And what I mean by meant to do this is to connect with souls on the other side of life. It's a perfectly natural thing. We're meant to do it. You don't have to worry about dark energy. You don't have to worry about our animals. We've said this before. It's one of the reasons why I love working with animals. They're pure, positive, wonderful, light, love, energy. They don't have a deceitful bone in their body. So it's wonderful to be able to connect with animals this way. So we're meant to do this. It's natural. And pretty soon, the more you practice it, the more you won't need to go into the steps, even though I'm going to share with you some steps, the more you won't need them because it's just going to be a natural part of who you are. You won't have to stop and create a space, turn on some soft music, begin a meditation, even though all of that is wonderful. I love to do it just for the experience of it, but you're going to find that you don't have to do it. You'll be able just to call on it just like you would use your voice. You're going to be able to call on it. So I'm going to think of some questions. I'm going to look at, see if there's anything coming up here. No. Okay. So Miss Nunya Business says she doesn't have a green thumb and that plants don't like her at all. Me neither. Me neither. I don't know how it happened. I think it happened actually with Seifer, the plant who's now in the other room, who used to be Seifer, but I was just bumping into Seifer. So Seifer's now in the other room. I only had Seifer. That was the only plant that I had. And it's a peace lily. And so I could, they're fairly easy to care for. But I always did think, I just don't have the knack for plants. I'm really good with animals, but not with plants. But then I got gifted this. And then I also got gifted Jack, who's across the room. And all of a sudden, when I started just loving them and treating them as individuals the way that I do animals, they are thriving. If you could see the cactus that I have across the room, it has all these little parts to it. It's not like a true cactus. It's a succulent, but it grows tall and has all these little things. They fall off and they grow new ones. And I've given them away. I just have so many of them now. They're wonderful. So you never know. You may have a connection to plants that you don't realize. I never knew that I could. All right. So let's get back to my notes for automatic writing. Practice with a friend. I did write that. So what I mean by practice with a friend is that sometimes your own animal companion is very familiar to you. And as you begin to write down the information, you may be more questioning of it because you may think, yeah, but I know I know that that's Jack. I know this much about Jack. I know that about Jack. I know that Jack's favorite food was kibasi. So I can't get like an actual message. So you switch. If you could have a partner that you could work with, then you try to make connections with each other's animal companions through automatic writing. And then when you start to get comfortable with that and get a little validation, then you can begin to work with your own animal companion to receive insight as if they are a spirit guide. So someone who can guide you, help you through the decisions that you might have to make, problems that you need to have solved, anything. One of the very first questions that I ask is, "What is it I need to know?" I may not even know what it is I need to know. "Oh, tonight's the night I gotta go play the lottery? Cool. I'm out of here. I gotta go do it." Um, so it may help if you have a partner. If you don't, it works just as fine. It works just as well. It just may take a little bit of time for you to begin to trust the information. Um, what if you do think that it's make believe or ego? Think, go back and read some of the examples of people that we've done the readings for, so that you can see that it's real, that the information that we receive is validated. And you're going to ask for a little piece of evidence if you can, especially if you're working with somebody else's animal. One of the first things we ask them to do is just to share something with us that is evidential, that is clear. And it's not because they don't have to prove who they are. It's more proof for us to begin to trust the thoughts that are going on in our mind. Ego, that was the other thing. Every once in a while, I've said this before, our ego gets a bad rap. There are a lot of people out there who talk about the ego, and you got to set aside your ego, and your ego is always going to get in the way. And well, we were born with an ego for a reason. We have egos for a reason. It's who we are. It's who we identify with as ourselves. What I do, I love to do this. I give my ego a job. Like when I do these videos, one of the things I do is, okay, if I feel like my ego is getting in the way, and there are some times when I watch some YouTube videos and I think, well, their ego, but that's being judgy. If I feel like my ego is just like, if I'm too inside myself, too letting it be too much about me, I give my ego a job. So I'll say, when I press the go live button, you're on. So I've got all the information that we're going to share, but go for it, girl. If you want to like show off tonight, go ahead and show off. So I give my ego a job, and she's happy when I do that. And then I can share with you all the things that I do. Now, the other thing that you could do, if you think that your own mind, let's put it that way, if you think that your own mind is going to get in the way, you can do a little automatic writing session with your own mind first. And you simply say, let's write down everything that we're afraid of. Let's write down everything that you're skeptical about. Let's write down everything that you might doubt. Let's get it out of the way. So we'll write it down. We're going to set it aside, and then we'll go ahead and try and connect with our animal companions. So you're going to validate your ego, say, okay, good point. Good point. I agree. That's exactly what I would think. So now let's set that aside and suspend our disbelief. One of my favorite sayings, suspend our disbelief. You and me together, me and my ego, we're going to believe it all. We're going to trust. And we are going to trust and have faith in Fluffy or Pedro or whoever, whatever your animal companion's name is. We are going to have total faith that they're able to come through to us, and we're going to trust them like we would in life. We trust them to come through to us now. And then you can begin your session. So that's one way. How can we use it? Use it for grief, for healing problems, negative patterns that you've got going on in your life, bad habits, nail chewing, smoking, whatever. You can ask your animals for help. You can ask them to help you overcome negative patterns. A big change is coming up. Do I need to move? Do I need to do this? Do I need to do that? All of those things. Take a new job. All of those things are things that you can ask your your animal companion. All right. So if you're ready, I'm going to go through the steps. If everybody has a pen and paper handy, you can go ahead and write these down if you want to. I try to write down the steps, but it really does flow from me naturally. So I hope I'm not missing anything. So I put down, I came up with like 12 steps. So I'll try to like pare that down for you. And if you wanted to play along tonight with Lily, you can try that and see if there's any information that Lily wants to share, or any animal at all. Doesn't matter. If you would like to try to connect with an animal companion, I will let you know that Lucy always is open for it. So if anybody wants to practice with me, you just let me know. And what I will do to help validate, because I don't want to be like the teacher who wants all her students to get A's, even though I do, I will write down some information about Lucy. I'll write down some information about Jack. This is a good way to do it. I'll write some things down about Lucy. I'll write some things down about Jack. I'll write some things down about Winston, and then I'll put them away. And if anybody wants to play and practice with them, you most certainly can. You just reach out to me. You can do a session, and then I will let you know what's on the paper that I've written in advance. So there's like no cheating and no like me making it, appear real when it's not. Okay, so suspend my disbelief. Okay, here we go. I want you to remember that this is a wonderful, beautiful, natural activity. It's meant to be dynamic and engaging. So it's not meant to be forced. And if stuff doesn't come to you at first, you just keep practicing. You just play with it. I've told you the story before about how I sat Jack when I was learning animal communication. I sat him on my bed and stared at him and stared and stared and stared and said, give me anything. But I was trying too hard. So let go of the need to make the connection and watch how it just naturally happens. Okay, so it's a dynamic activity that you should practice. And if you do it every single day, whether or not you think that you're doing it right, do it every single day. It starts to become not only a habit that you get into, but it also becomes a really good way of learning to control your own mind. So instead of your thoughts controlling you, you are managing your thought process. You are the one in control of your thoughts. Instead of that monkey running all over the place in here, you give him a nice banana and he settles down and he quiets, because every day, if you practice a ritual like this, you are taking control of your thinking process and it becomes easier and easier. You'll find yourself less stressed. You'll find yourself deciding that you need to set the tone for your own day. It just becomes a wonderful way of getting through life and of going through life and getting through life, as if you have to, a wonderful way of living life and setting the tone for your own day. Okay, so the first thing that I say is suspend your disbelief. Just if you have to do a little process first, that's fine. Suspend your disbelief. Doubt and fear, out of here for now. You're out of here. There's no place for you at this moment in time. You can come back in later. You can come back in later, and it's going to be okay. But for right now, you're out of here. Pick up whatever pen you want to use, whatever paper you want to use, or if you're going to type on your keyboard, that's fine also. Pick up your pen and your paper, and you can decide when you want to do this. I would set aside a certain time of the day to do it. It would either be early in the morning. Now, for me, when I do these for this, it's late in the afternoon, so it's a late afternoon thing, and I sit down in a quiet space, and I'll tell you the little ritual that I go through. But you can decide maybe to do it first thing in the morning before everything in the day has a chance to get inside your head and kind of mess with you a little bit, before you have a chance to have things to suspend your disbelief about. Do it first thing in the morning. Or you might want to do it right before you go to sleep. But suspend your disbelief, grab your favorite pen and paper, decide when you want to do it, but I would set aside a pretty consistent time each day that you're going to practice with this. And then make a little ritual of it. So if you would like to light a little candle, or if you've got your favorite picture of them that you want to have present with you, or a little bit of their fur, or perhaps you've got a collar that they wore, anything from life that's around you. You might want to go into a place definitely that's quiet and without distractions. I would put this little thing someplace where it can't bother you, where it's not going to ring, where you're not going to be tempted to look at it, where you're not going to be halfway through your meditation, like not even in the same room, so that when you're halfway through your meditation, you go, oh, shoot, I totally forgot that I was supposed to respond to Kimmy through an email. I better go do that right now. So just set this little contraption aside. I don't want to forget. Look, I made myself a little note to remember to do something. And I put it on my phone. Wait, isn't there a commercial about that where a lady's got all these Post-it notes on her phone? Anywho, set the phone aside, get yourself into a place that's nice and quiet, where you can be uninterrupted, not going to be disturbed, and then make the environment whatever you want it to be. So I've shared with you before that my whole space here is just one big comfortable place to be. I've got a little lounge chair I can sit in. I also have a dark space where I can go where it's completely dark if that's what I want to do. And I will often put on a little bit of music. Now, there's two kinds of music that I would recommend giving a try. The first, and you can look them both up on YouTube. One of them is called solfeggio frequencies. The solfeggio frequencies are a series of 9 frequencies that they're just tones. So it's like for tuning forks. Only the people who create these little videos often will put music along with it, but it's the tone that you're listening for. The solfeggio frequencies can get your mind, body, and breathing into a pattern that allows you to be receptive to messages from the other side. The other thing is theta waves. You can just look again, it's mostly a tone, but you can look up music that is designed to get your brain into the theta state. There's alpha, beta, gamma, alpha, beta, delta, gamma, and theta, I think, are the 5 states of our mind, depending on how awake or asleep we are. Theta is the music that you want to listen to. It gets you into that really deep state where you are in the zone, where you are flowing, connected. You won't even think about anything else because you don't have to be. You're so focused on what you're going to do. So I would create that little quiet space for yourself and begin by finding some music that is that makes you feel connected, that makes you feel good, and you listen to that music and put your phone away, and then you're going to begin the process. So if I was going to formally do this, I would start by setting an intention. So once I've established my environment, got myself settled, I would set the intention. So my intention tonight is to connect with Lily. And I have already asked her, but I would ask her again. I would set the intention, and I would even write it down. My intention this evening is to connect with Lily and to be able to help Lily's human mama know that she is still with her, to share some signs, to share some information, and any messages that we are meant to share with Lily's human mama. I might write that at the top of my paper. That is my intention this evening. For now, I'm just going to say it out loud. Write it down, and it gets your mind and your hand, if you're going to write, it gets your mind ready. It's like putting a little fertilization on the soil, watering something. It just gets your mind nice and ready to receive. And then I invite. If I was going to be working with humans, I would probably do more than invite. I would ask permission. I wouldn't just invite. I would ask permission to be able to connect with them, especially if I'm doing it on behalf of someone else. But with animals, I love the word invite because they're so ready. They're so ready and willing and wanting and desirous of connecting with us. So I invite them to come join me. So I just let myself feel Lily. I'm like, Lily, I would just be so thrilled if you could join us tonight. What a beautiful way it would be to spend the evening just connected with you, sharing messages for your human mama, making everybody feel the love. And I can already feel her in my heart. I just feel it. I feel this beautiful, loving energy, and I'm ready to share. So it's just a simple invitation. You've set the stage with your environment. You've turned on some soft music. You've set the intention, and you have invited an animal to companion to come join you. And then there's a couple things you can do. You can take it in a couple different directions. If it's with your animal companion that you're connecting, you're not going to need much evidence because you know those things that are evidentiary to you. Is that the word? So you might go right away and ask a question. Ask the question that you're looking for help for, and then I'm going to show you what to write. But as the process, we're going to write, which I'm going to show you what to write in a minute. And then when it's all done, I always close with gratitude. For every animal that comes to share the space with me, let's say Lily, I would just say, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much for sharing this. It has made us all feel so happy, and it's made us all feel so free and loved and wonderful to connect. And you've taught us so much. And I just close with thanks. And that's exactly the way I do it. Now, I'm going to tell you what to write. Where did I write this? I have so much written down here that I lost what I wrote that I wanted to write you guys, but it's okay because I know it. I would start by writing a word. I write word and then another word and then another word. And then I move on to a phrase, and I'm going to demonstrate this with Lily. Then I move on from a word to a phrase. And then if there's a word that I feel I should come back to, I will start writing some things about that word. Some of it sometimes makes no sense. Something that came up in one of the readings this week that didn't make sense. The only thing that didn't make sense was about a marching band. Something came up about a marching band, a parade, military, but nobody could figure out what that meant. And that's okay. When you write your things, you can always add, but I say don't ever take away. Don't ever take away, don't ever dismiss the things that you're writing down, even if they don't seem to make sense. Because as I mentioned, this week I also got an email every single day with, "You're not going to believe this, but these are the green marbles. You're not going to believe this, but," um, so write everything down, but don't dismiss anything. And you can always go back and add, but I wouldn't cross anything out. Um, I'm just going to take some quick notes here. Hello, Tara. How are you? Good to see you. Okay. Well, hello, everybody. All right. I will let you guys talk a little bit more amongst yourselves. Theta waves, I sleep with that. Oh, yeah. So you can, if music is distracting to you, you don't have to listen to music. And if music puts you to sleep, you might not want to do that. Keep it on really low in the background. It's only your subconscious mind that needs to pick that up. But okay. So let's get back to this. So what will I write? I will write down words. I will write down phrases, and then I will write down thoughts. I say, write down everything. Focus on words. Focus on, then I go back and examine feelings, colors, emotions, shapes, textures, temperature, all of those things I take into consideration as I'm writing my words. And as I'm writing the words, I'll write, "Oh, I'm cold." Like right now, I just gave myself I gave myself a chill, like the goosebumps ran right at the back of my arms. So I would write that, goosebumps and a chill. I'll write that down. It may mean something. The time that we were all on this, I think it was all of us who were on the call together when it began to snow on April 1st, when the snow just blizzarded it out of nowhere. I write that down. All of that, I find animals will use all of our senses to send us this information. I include it in my automatic writing. But for tonight, let me give you the example with Lily, and then you'll kind of see what you'll see how it goes. And Lily's human mama is on the video tonight. So feel free to comment, feel free to share anything that you want to share, or many people are very private, totally respect the privacy. I will not reveal anything that if you would rather do this by email after, it's totally fine. Okay. So I might write for Lily. Lily already began to come through. When I sent the email to Lily's human that tonight was going to be her night, Lily was already coming through, and I commented that I felt like Lily wanted to be the teacher. Lily wanted to be the teacher at the front of the room, showing everybody how to do this. And I got the sense that she was like that in life, that she was, if not leader of the pack, she was a guide. Like she'd tell everybody else how to get it done. If she had puppies, she'd be very good as a mama. She would be very good telling her puppies what to do. So Lily is a teacher, and I got a sense that she said like Lassie, but smarter. So Lily was quite aware that she is very intelligent. So let's see, what might I write? So we write play, drink, and I'm just going to read this out loud. For me, it can sometimes be a little bit more intuitive, but for I'm feeling the nod from Lily that this is all fine. Play, drink, shred, the word shred, interesting. Loop, I'm just writing down immediately the words that come into my head. Not loop, hoop, hoop, not loop. And look, I only wrote down goose instead of goosebumps. So I'm going to go with that. Like goose is what I should have written down, not goosebumps. Talk, bark, talk. I'm going to ask more questions about these. Scratch. What are we scratching? Scratching ourselves, scratching wood. Okay, so I'm just going to write this down. I write it down. And I would just convey all this information. Normally when I do this for you guys, I'm reading what I've already written. So I'm going to write down scratch wood, a door, a floor, wood planking, some kind of wood plank. Wood plank brings to mind a boat. So I'm going to write down boat, and a dock, by a lake with water. And Minnesota just pops right to mind. I don't know where you guys are from. I have no idea. So I would love to know if Minnesota, Minnehaha, Minnetonka. Anything that begins with mini. Okay. Mini Tanka. Mini haha. Mini haha. That makes me laugh. Mini haha. Okay. So pawing. Oh, not pawing. That's the word that comes through. Pawing, not just necessarily scratching. Pawing at a door, like pawing. I don't say that word well. Pawing at a door or a wood floor. So bear with me as I'm writing. I'm sorry I'm not like looking right at you guys. Okay, going back to the loop and the hoop. The loop and the hoop, I'm seeing an orange circle or a ring, an orange circle or a ring. That's all that's coming through about that right now. Hula hoop? I don't know. Loop, hoop. That just keeps coming back. Hoop dance, hula hoop dance. I want to go back to bark because of the talk bark talk. Spoke with a bark talk, spoke with a bark. Now I'm not writing some of this stuff down, but I would. If I were you, I'd just be writing all this stuff down as fast as it's coming through. You want to write it down. Spoke with a bark, like you could tell that the bark was meant to communicate. So that's where the Lassie thing comes in. Like the bark is meant to communicate to you, like Timmy's in the well, only not that. The bark is meant to communicate something, and Lily knows how to talk bark. That's what an odd way to put that. How to talk bark. I'm sorry, not odd. What a good way to put that. Thank you. That's a good way to put that. Okay, so let me just see what else comes through. Cherry bear. What is a cherry bear? Gummy bears. Nope. Cherry bear is what comes through. And going back to goose. We're going back to goose. Did Lily catch a bird at any point? I'm getting a sense that Lily caught a bird. And I don't know that. Lily's a bigger dog, not a big dog, but a bigger dog, not a tiny little dog. So I don't know if she actually caught a goose. A message. So we're getting right now what I'm just getting a sense of. A heaviness, a strong heaviness, like indicating that this is very important that I convey. Very important that I convey. And I see I'm going to try not to look until the end, some messages from Human Mama. So let me know if any of that makes sense. The sense of heaviness is a message that I am meant to convey, to introduce yourself. There's somebody or someone who you are meant to meet, or you already know that you are meant to go connect with, that you haven't been connecting with for one reason or another. Part of that comes up with newspaper, a book. I don't know what that has to do with introducing yourself. But there's someone to whom you are to introduce yourself that is meant to help you do something. So you've been looking to do something. You've been looking for this. You've been thinking about this person, but now is the time that you are meant to go introduce yourself. Shredding a book. That's what's coming through. Back to the word shred. A book, a newspaper, shredding it to bits. I got this shredding it to bits. Somehow this is all connected though. And I'm not 100%, I'm not clear. So what I would do in that case is ask a question. So this, I would say, Lily, I'm unclear about introducing yourself and the shredded newspaper. Is this someone whose newspaper I shredded? Is it a neighbor who I'm meant to go introduce myself to, whose newspaper I shook to bits? But those are the kinds of questions that I would then ask. I would ask follow-up questions. I'm just going to see. I'm going to look at the comments real quick. So give me a second here as I do that. I saw she was, but I don't know what that means that she was. Was there anything to do with the boat? That's what I really, really want to know. Was there anything to do with the boat? The boat and the wood. That the wood planking is really what is coming through. Strong. Wood planking, a floor, a door. I'm getting a sense it's not a door anymore. So then I might ask, anything else? Lily, is there anything else that we are meant to share? And I'm just holding the picture of Lily in my mind. And I get a sense that she was very strong. Was she too strong even to have on a lead? And so I've stopped automatic writing at this point, guys. We'll come back to it in just a minute. So for right now, Lily I just see her sitting in front of me. She's panting. Did she like to ride in the boat? Did she love to ride in the boat? Did she love to run down the dock and jump into the boat? We're focused on the boat for whatever reason. I'm focused on this boat. But at the panting and the pulling, so she was very strong with her lead, and sometimes hard to manage because she was so strong with her lead, and that's just who she was. There's no apologies. Like, she's not saying sorry. She's actually saying, just let me off my leash. Let me go. There's a reason why I pulled so hard. I had a place to be. And is there anything else for your mama that we want your mama to know? Take the vacation. Wow, how interesting. That just popped right into my mind. So if I was doing this as automatic writing, if it pops into my mind and it didn't, take a vacation right in the middle of talking about a boat. Okay, maybe you're supposed to go on a cruise. And you're supposed to introduce yourself to someone who's going to take you on a cruise. Could be. All right, so I am going to read the comments now real quick. Might have with her previous owner. Was that about the boat or the bird? Was that about the bird? Caught a bird with her previous owner? I don't know. Hi, Rose. Thanks for joining us. She would always run and jump in the lake, even if I'd say no, and pulled really hard. She was a tank. And you were going to take a vacation this week and wasn't sure. Oh my gosh. So when these things happen, I still say my mind is always blown. It blows my mind, yet it doesn't. Like, I believe it all. I absolutely believe it all. I think more than anything for Lily's mama, you're meant to know that this is real. You're meant to know that she's still right with you. You're meant to know how to do this. You're meant to know how to do this with your pen and your paper, so that next time, if you're unsure if you should take a vacation, all you have to do is ask. All you have to do is ask. And they're able to help us. It's that simple. It does not need to be complicated. We don't need to overthink it. We don't even think, I don't even know what question I'm supposed to ask. Then don't. Then say, I don't even know what I'm supposed to ask. Lucy, I don't even know what it is I'm supposed to talk about tonight. Can you tell me? And then just begin to write if you want. So now let's just say this is all over. And if anything more comes through from Lily, I promise I will share, because oftentimes they will continue to talk even after you have said goodnight. When it's all done and over with, if you want to just close your book and step away, do that. Close your book and step away and think, oh my gosh, I'm the craziest person in the whole wide world that I just did this. But the next day or a couple hours later, go back to your book and read the things that you wrote. And the messages that come through, the messages of love, if that's what you felt is love and light and fun, write all that stuff down, because those are the messages that heal. Those are the messages that heal. When they say, I am right here, Mama, and all of a sudden you are smelling their favorite food cooking and there's nothing in your house cooking, you know that it's them. All of a sudden you hear their name called, you hear their bark, anything, you hear their purring, you hear, feel, touch, taste, anything. You know that it's them. And every single day you can reach out to them if you'd like to. And if you can tell them, I'm playing this game and I'm learning, and I hope that you will be my teacher, and please come play with me. And you write everything down. And that is as simple as it needs to be. It does not need to be any more complicated. And you will receive the messages of healing. You'll receive messages of guidance. Your animal companion on the other side of life can be your guide. They can help you solve problems. They can help you overcome some dilemmas. They can get you past anything, because now they have the secrets to the whole universe, as do all of our loved ones who have crossed to the other side. It's just that we tend to believe our animals a little bit more than we do our humans. Okay, going to go back and read. Try the automatic writing. Okay, I would absolutely try it, because that's the last thing that's coming through at this moment in time. Oftentimes they keep on going. Is that you're meant to try this so that she can connect with you for anything, decisions. What a great partner to have to help you make decisions. And if you have got an animal companion sharing your home right now, guess what? The same thing works for animal communication. You can do animal communication through automatic writing, and then you can share information back. You can ask animals things like, what is your favorite food? Is there something bothering you? You can ask them a broad general question like, what is it I can do for you right now? Is there something I can do for you right now? Yeah, change that leash because there's something inside that's giving me a pain in the back of the neck. But anything, you can get that information, and then you can validate it just by trying it, just by seeing what happens. Okay. Lady Bell's face appeared in my head this morning, and I said hello to her. Yep, there you go. Why not? Absolutely, in a cloud. It can just be in your mind. It can be just a little shadow if you wake up in the middle of the night and it's dark and you see a little shadow off in the corner. I was looking at what was the picture I was looking at today? I can't remember what it was, but it was a picture of something that was not it wasn't an animal. But when I looked again, there was a dog's face, right? Like the way the shadows had fallen, the way it with the artwork was drawn. What darn, I wish I could remember what it was. I should have taken a picture. But the way the artwork was drawn, I could see there was a dog right in there. I was like, oh, look at that. That's a little doggy's face. I wonder whose dog that is. So I trust even those signs that I was seeing a dog's face for a reason, that there's some little dog who's trying to get my attention. And it was specifically a little dog. So go with it all. Lean into it. I know you guys want to trust. I know you want to believe. And every week that we meet like this, it will become more and more validating, and you'll get more and more signs, and you'll receive more and more information that makes your life easier, because I know it. I am with you guys. Sometimes I say to the universe, what the actual bleep? Because I think, no, this is not the way it's supposed to be. It's not the way it's supposed to be. So how about we all get together? I say this, I had this conversation with animals, universe, people, plants. How about we all get together and let's change this? Let's do it differently. Let's do it differently. And when this group of people gets together and we do this differently, we are the tide that raises all ships, and everything changes for the better. That's how I feel. Okay. All right, guys, we're not quite at an hour, but I think that about wraps it up. Are there any questions that anybody has? I have a few minutes, so let's open this up for any questions or comments. Tesla, 100% with me. So awesome. So happy about that. That's Terry, right? Right. I think that's Terry. You are more than welcome. You are more than welcome, guys. I just want to share this with the whole world. I wish everybody could get this message. And I know that little by little, we will get it out there. What if the dog wants to leave the room? All right. So let's do this. Two things. I'm practicing with friends who've crossed over pets that I don't know and have them verify. Yep. Okay. That is a great way to begin to practice. Friends and family who are willing to connect with you, who are willing to let you. You could just say you're playing. You're just feeling inspired that you want to be able to connect with animals, and they'll validate for you one way or the other, and then they become believers when they receive the validation. What if the dog wants to leave the room? I'm not sure what that means. Leave the room. If they're on the other side, they're everywhere. But like right now, like I can already sense that Lily her energy has shifted away from me back home. She's with you right now. I just feel like, and they're multidimensional. They can be anywhere, everywhere. Oh, I forgot to mention that. Maybe that'll be for next time. Okay, real quick, super, super quick. I got a great analogy from someone who I was listening to on a podcast that said, souls on the other side, we're able to connect with them because they're like Patrick Swayze. And Patrick Swayze is an actor who is now deceased. But Patrick Swayze starred in the movie Ghost. And he was also in the movie Roadhouse. And he was in the movie Dirty Dancing. And Patrick Swayze is on the other side, but he's still all of those characters. And every time one of us watches a movie, we are watching him be that character. And he is there just as real as it was as when he was alive and made that movie. And that's how magical our animals are. They may be on the other side, but they can come in as a bird. They can come in as a kitten. It's just anyway, it resonated strongly with me. So I knew I wanted to share that with you guys too. And what if they leave the room? When I am sharing Reiki or doing an animal communication session with an animal who is still in their physical body and they choose to leave the room, I believe that we let them, when I say, may animals light your way, may animals light your way. And they're giving a clear message that, okay, it's just like us. If we don't feel like talking sometime, like, okay, no, I just need to be by myself for a little bit, or I'm not ready to talk right now. They have that choice. Most animals on the other side of life are very they're very attuned with us, and they'll stay with us for as long as we ask them to. But if you get a sense that they've shared what they needed to share for this particular time, then you just close with gratitude. Say thank you. Okay. Something just flew in my mouth. I think I swallowed a bug. That's what you get. All creatures are drawn to us when we do this. I don't think he meant to be swallowed, but hey, live YouTube. I can't think what I was. Oh, like a present dog. Okay, so if a present dog leaves the room, I would take it as a sign that they're done. That they just don't have an interest at the moment. Let them kind of guide you. Let them tell you. Follow their lead. And if you get a sense that they want to leave the room, then I let them leave the room. Not even for a Reiki session. If somebody hires me for a Reiki session and their animal gets up and leaves the room, then that's okay. That's their choice. And I will just make that very clear that clearly Fluffy was not interested today. And we can either try again, or we don't have to try again at all if you don't choose to. Yep, let them guide you. I think I have animal chakras. Okay, that's a good one. Always looking for ideas. So for those of you who know, if you join the members group, which is, I make it uber affordable. If you join the members group, those ideas come up first. Animal companions get readings, that kind of stuff. They get a little bit extra special stuff. But I'm always looking for suggestions. So animal chakras, absolutely, specifically cats, same chakras in humans. Oh, you guys are going to be, when you hear about animal chakras, I won't give any spoilers. Have a little story about signs I got from Mew Mew. Now approved for a kitty named Valentino because the foster mom found him around Valentine's. Oh, beautiful. That is awesome. Oh, you're going to be fostering that. I just love that. Oh no, named that because the foster, you're going to adopt, but the foster mom had found around Valentine's Day. Like on Overboard. I just ate just ate a big bug. I remember that now. Just ate a bug. Okay. Ordered a pin that says, "My cat is my Valentine." Can animals communicate through electronic devices? Oh, I was going to include that with my spirit signs. So the person who asked, Pat, who's one of the members, asked me to do signs in nature. And I decided to do this thing called spirit signs because it's also going to include signs from electronics. There are so many ways that we don't even think of that animals and people try to get through to us. So, yep, electronics. I'll include, that's going to be next Monday. That's the 20th. I can't believe it's going to be May 20th next week. That'll be episode 19. All right, let's see what else we got. Let me scroll back up just a smidge. I think I missed a message from Tara. She gave me the Pastor Oscar Myers. I was getting it. Oh, right. Thank you, Tara. That's a great example, right? When we were doing the reading, and I wrote down everything, and I don't dismiss it. Oscar Meyer Wiener. That's what I wrote down. And then what was it? A week later, Tara, you sent me a picture of a dog that you were considering adopting, and it was a dachshund. So we have to put those things together sometimes, and it just takes a little bit of time. So don't dismiss. You can always add, but don't dismiss. All right, guys, that wraps it up for tonight. If there's any other questions, you just let me know. Otherwise, I think we are good. And it was great to see you all. Have a beautiful week. And until next Monday, or if I see you before then, until next Monday, may animals light your way. Take care, everybody. Bye.